Welcome out to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 166. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, what is your favorite F-bomb movie, or F-bomb in a movie? Ray, what is your favorite F-bomb in a movie?
So I was not too old when this came out, but it caught my funny bone when I was a kid, and I still love the line. It's in The Prince of Thieves. Christian Slater is about to he hits the button, and Kevin Costner and Morgan Freeman go flying over top of the wall.
Yeah.
And fuck me, he cleared it.
I forgot about that. That is a good one.
I love it. It's such a good line, and the way Christian Slater does it is just perfect. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna jump in here real quick. I've got two that kind of stand out. The lesser of the two is actually from the 2016 Ghostbusters movie with the ladies. Um, it PG-13. Once again, they only get one, and it's the scene where they're looking to find out where they're going to put their new base. They're building they're building their business. They're going to figure it out, and they actually take them to the firehouse, from the first movie, and it looks great. It's all well done and everything. They're already falling in love with it. And Kristen Wiig asks the realtor how much it is, and when she says it's like $2 or $3 million, she just goes "fuck you," and then like catches herself. She's just like, "How much is this place? You want what for this place?" That one did catch me funny, but probably one of my favorite ones, and because it's such a hard punch, funny one, is Anchorman. When he's reading the thing and doesn't even realize and just looks at it and goes, "Go fuck yourself, San Diego," and then just turns and you can see her face just drop. She's like, "Oh my god, he actually read it." Oh, that's such a good scene. Joseph, what's your favorite F bomb in a movie?
Well, mine actually came from a non PG-13 movie. It's rated R, but only because I think of the blood and violence.
Okay.
But it's a Predator, and when Arnold says, "You're one ugly motherfucker,"
Oh yeah,
I think it's my favorite one of all time.
that's a good one. So, joining us after a very very long hiatus is Cyrus Martin. How you doing, man?
Good.
What is your favorite F bomb in a movie?
I got two I want to give you, and
right.
they're neither one of them PG or PG-13.
Whatever.
One of them is Braveheart, and it's when the Irish guy is like, "It's my island," and he's like, "God says I'll be all right, but he's pretty sure you're fucked."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a great.
And the other one is the Big Lebowski, when the guy is very conveniently, very like thoughtfully trying to help Jeff find that money in the toilet. When he's asking him, "Where's the money? Where's the effing money?" that I have to mention Big Lebowski at some point in any movie conversation. So
Yeah, no, and I totally get that. So, kind of like me with Clue. So you just, it has to roll in there eventually. So, tonight's topic, Ray, I think you're the one that suggested this one. There was a meme going around on Instagram Reels or TikTok, wherever it is you watch your 30-second comedy online, as it were, and someone pointed out that in the Lord of the Rings movies they are PG-13. And according to the official rules for PG-13 movies, you are allowed to drop one F bomb. And so that kind of what sparked our idea here is that what other PG-13 movies don't have an F bomb and probably should, maybe could. We'll put it as could. Now, I did lay out some somewhat rules for the group, but we're not going to stick too close to them. A couple of things. Number one, PG-13 did not come around until 1984. Which is why when you look at some movies from the early 80s and late 70s and you're just like, how is this movie PG? It's because they didn't have PG-13. What kills me is the fact that even after it came out, they didn't go back and reclassify them. So something like Jaws, Gremlins, if you did not know, you'd go, "Oh, PG, that's got to be fine for the kids, right?" Maybe not so much. But yeah, so we're going in and we're looking at movies that were PG and or that are PG and adding an F bomb to them. And I pretty much said anything before 1984, if it was PG or whatever, it's fair game. So whether or not you think it actually should be a PG-13 movie, go for it. So with that said, would anyone like to go first? All right. You know what? Oh, Joseph, you going first? Oh, you're muted. There you
Sorry
go.
about that. There was a dog barking in the courtyard.
Okay.
The apartment. But I'll go first, specifically because you mentioned Lord of the Rings and the reason behind we're doing this. My first one is from the Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I'll paint you a little picture here. It's the Council of Elrond. They have decided that the ring must be taken to Mordor, and they're all arguing. And there are lots of good spots in those arguments to drop an F-bomb. But I felt, for dramatic effect, the best part to do was with Frodo. Before he says, "I will take the ring," you just hear exhaustedly, "For fuck's sake, I will take the ring." Though I do not know the way.
I thought for sure you were going to say, you have my sword and my bow and my fucking axe. I thought for sure that's what you were going to say.
Like I said, lots of great places to put it, but
Absolutely.
thrown in when Frodo's just frustrated.
True.
I was thinking Elrond be like, one of you must fucking do this. I don't know.
See, I have a different spin. I think it would be Gandalf, and he'd be looking at her, and he'd hear Frodo's voice, and when he does the eye roll, like, oh, it's fuck, like
just the one word.
Yeah.
See, I would have totally put it in a completely different place. I personally think the only place that the F bomb should go is him on the bridge, and you shall not fucking pass, and then just backs the
Did you
ball right
randomly
off.
have a staff on you while you were doing that?
Oh, I have a wand, yes. So I have to have something to mess with while we're doing the show. You know how it is. So anyway, no, yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Lord of the Rings could use an F bomb, and we would all have enjoyed it. It would have been great. Ray, you want to go next?
Yeah.
All right.
So The Dark Knight. I was a little surprised. The Dark Knight, I couldn't find anywhere it says fuck. I think there's like whispers that there might have been one in there, but you got the Joker. Like, that's a great opportunity. So I'm thinking he's hanging upside down, and Batman's confronting him, and he's like, "I don't want to fucking kill you." I think that's the perfect spot for that line. Like,
that would have been a good spot.
I think the best spot in The Dark Knight is when Lucius Fox tells the guy, "Good fucking luck."
That would have been good too.
yeah, that's a good one.
That would have been a good spot too. Si, what's your first movie?
I went with Gladiator.
Oh, okay.
And the the spot is not probably one you would think.
Okay.
It's the spot where he's got the little figurines and he's talking to his friend they're in the like the dungeon area, and he's telling them about his wife and his son, and he says, "What would you say to your wife?" And he says, "That is not your fucking business."
That would have been a good spot too. Yeah, I need to go back and watch that movie again. It's been ever since I've seen it.
Have you seen the behind the scenes discussion that Russell Crowe has talked about for Gladiator?
No.
Like, him and Ridley Scott didn't have a script.
Seriously?
They started with a script and they threw almost all of it out because they didn't like it. So they started shooting that movie with like 15 pages. That's all they had.
Oh my God.
And they improvised almost all of that movie. Like, some of it was based on what the original script was, but they just made it up as they went. He was terrified. Like,
oh, I bet.
Russell Crowe was like, every day he thought, he's like, what are we doing? This is crazy, but he's like Ridley Scott. He's like Ridley Scott knew what he was doing. He said, I'm sorry, we're kind of going off on a tangent. But,
no, it's fine.
There was a test Ridley Scott gave him to see if it was going to work. And it was the first day of shooting, and they had Russell Crowe in all his armor and everything, and they're in the the opening scene of the movie with the Romanian stuff, all that. And Ridley Scott, first first conversation they have on set. Russell Crowe walks over. Ridley Scott goes, "All right, I'm gonna have you look at a bird. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to go give this look like you're looking off, and then you see the bird. You kind of smile. You think about it for a second. Then you get like upset, and then you're back. You got your mind right, and you walk off, and you're about to go to war." And Russell Crowe goes, "Okay," and then he goes, "Action!" And they did that opening shot where he sees the bird, he gives it all that thought, and then goes off, and that's in the movie. And that was the first shot they did. And when they got done shooting it, he only did one take. He comes over, and Ridley Scott says, "Me and you are going to get along really well." So, yeah, crazy story.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I know, kind of off on a tangent there. There's so many moments in that movie you could add an F-bomb to, though. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
What a great movie.
Just with the Emperor, or yeah.
Which the Richard Harris or Joaquin Phoenix?
Honestly, either. So, but no, there were a lot of places you could.
The little fucking bee told him everything.
My first movie, staying on brand, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters completely falls under it. I mean, in all honesty, it's PG, but it scared the hell out of me as a kid. But there are several different places in there. I thought the first place my mind went to is when they get drugged into the mayor's office, because you could have them say, one of them, pipes in, "Well, fucking Dickless here, shut off the grid," or whatever. And then I thought even the mayor just be like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do here?" Before the father walks in. But I think, and even then, I also thought, of course, the final battle with Gozer, I thought someone could throw in an F-bomb there. I think where I would actually put it, though, would literally be, it's not the last line of dialogue in the movie. It's technically the last line before the credits start, because there's a little bit of dialogue during the credits. But literally is Winston clapping his hands, throwing his arms up above his head, and he goes, "I love this fucking town." And then they walk down, and everything's going on. I think that would be the perfect way to seal it, because it's fucking New York. I mean, who in New York's not going to say, "I love fucking New York"? So, but yeah, that was the first one I went to.
I figured you would say fucking Dickless over here.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that would be great for it. So,
and see, I'm sitting over here thinking, what if Ray thought the word "fuck" when it goes?
Whoa! Then what would appear?
Talk about changing the movie.
Yeah.
You're not going to be PG-13 after that.
Yeah.
R rating for sure.
Well, R, yeah.
See, I always think it would be like Bill Murray, like, "Fuck, Ray, come on." Like, just.
What'd you fucking do, Ray?
Although, Joseph, that would fulfill the promise of the keymaster and the gatekeeper.
Very true. Very true. Or even if you had Spengler throw it in right there, right after the firehouse explodes, and Peck runs over and he's like, "Have these men arrested for this, that, and the other." And then Spengler goes, "Your mother," and that's all you hear. And then he like jumps at him and just said, "Your fucking mother," and like jumped at him. That would have been good too. So, all right, Joseph, what's your next one?
So my next one is from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Tons of places.
That's on my list as well. Okay.
Place it. And because there are tons of places, I figured I was going to go with something less obvious.
Okay.
Just in case other people wanted to do that one as well. So my line is when Jack is saying, honestly, it's the honest ones you want to watch out for, because you can never predict when they're going to do something incredibly fucked.
Not bad. Not bad. Pirates was on my list as well. I was going to throw it in there. It's the scene where he first meets what's his name's character? He's asking him, he's like, "Who made all these swords? Who made all of these weapons?" And he's like, "I did. And I've made every one of them, and I practiced every day with them." And he looks at him and he goes, "You need to find yourself a fucking girl, man." Or mate. That's where I would have added it. So
that's a good spot.
Yeah, especially after he explains all this stuff that he's done, because Jack Sparrow would have been like, "No, you need to be going out and getting some, dude. Don't be worrying with this shit."
Yeah.
So
I thought about that one. Where I would have done it is as he's coming in on the ship, and he just walks from the ship off on the dock, it would have been one of the guards saying, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that would have been a good one. That is one of the most iconic entrances ever. Like that is just so fantastic to see him literally just step right off onto it. That was that's such a good scene. All right, Ray, what's your next one?
All right, so I found out that this was actually the original line.
Okay.
So Casino Royale,
Okay.
shaken or stirred. Do I look like I give a fuck? That's actually the original line
Really?
that 007 delivers,
Mm-hmm.
but they changed it to "Do I look like I give a damn" instead. And I think it should have been "Do I look like I give a fuck?"
Nope.
Just
That
that
fits.
happened, I think that would have been way better, especially for that movie. Like it's
As dark as that movie is, yeah, absolutely.
you're there anyway. Just do I look like I give a fuck? Oh, this isn't the normal 007. Here we go.
No. I'm going to announce something, and it's a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it. I think he's fine as 007, but I don't care for those movies. It's just when I got into 007, it was GoldenEye. Like that's when I got in. So my mindset was 007 is cool and suave, but it's a little campy. And it got too campy, and that's why we need to move on. But I watched that movie, and I was just like, "Fuck, this is dark." Like especially that scene where they're torturing him. I'm just like, "Oh my god! Like this is horrible."
That's one of my favorite ones, though. No, 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 to the left, to the left, to the left. Where he's just begging him to hit him again. Like I have an itch, and you haven't hit it yet. Like fucking.
Yeah, I was. I was.
The only one of those Craig movies I didn't like was the Spectre.
Okay.
I thought that one was disappointing because, and it was beautiful. It was shot really beautiful. It's just, it wasn't that good a movie, you know. But I liked all the other ones. But I can understand where you're coming from though, because, I mean, Pierce Brosnan was so, for at least those first two movies that he did,
totally agree.
was so good. He was like, because we had come off of Roger Moore, who frankly was an old man, who we kind of were like, eh, and then he was super campy. Like everything about those Roger Moore movies are like tongue in cheek, like silly.
Yeah.
And then here comes Timothy Dalton, who I adore. I think Timothy Dalton is amazing, but he just didn't quite fit for James Bond. As badass as he is, he would have been a better James Bond. And from what I understand of the background of what happened, he was supposed to be more like the Daniel Craig James Bond, and they couldn't agree on it, and it ended up just not making much sense. But yeah, when Pierce Brosnan came along, you remember, James Bond had been gone for a while. They had been trying to get Pierce Brosnan even before they got Timothy Dalton, and they finally got their guy. And for a while, it was really good. It was really good. And it was what James Bond is supposed to be. Like Sean Connery, like it's supposed to be a little bit funny.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be cool and fun and a spectacle and not too realistic, more just a blast, you know, with crazy stunts and crazy gadgets and that kind of stuff. Daniel Craig, those movies are good, but they're not really like that. They have a lot of that in it, but they're very hard edged.
Yes.
So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. I guess the pinnacle, one of the pinnacle scenes is that scene in GoldenEye where the car is going backwards and he blasts through that wall in that tank. And when he stands up and is looking through through the hole, and literally all he does is just adjust his tie. And he's like, I'm just like, that is so fucking cool.
That whole tank scene is amazing. He's freaking power sliding in a tank.
Yeah.
It's my dad wasn't even interested in James Bond. And he was like, that's one of the coolest things I ever seen. I was like, yes.
Yes, it was awesome. So, we got lost. What was the last one we were talking about? Was it? Was it Ray's? Yeah. Sai, what's your next one?
Oh, well, to go back to Batman for a second, we'll back up from the Dark Knight to Batman Begins, because
Oh, okay.
how can you not have this moment where Batman swoops down and the guy wearing his coat, the hobo, is there, and Batman goes, "Nice fucking coat." How can you not have that? I'm like, come on, it has to be in there. If we're doing
No, absolutely. So, were all three of those movies PG-13?
I don't know. Yes.
Yeah,
I think so, because I don't think I'm trying. I don't know why the last one would have not been PG-13. I can't think of anything in particular that would have set it off, but
I don't know. I'm gonna say yes, and if we don't agree later, then you can fight me.
Okay. I thought for sure you were gonna say, "When you go fuck yourself." So
Yeah, they go.
gotta stay on brand. My next one was Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'm gonna switch to my next one. My next one is Jurassic Park.
Oh, all right.
I mean, there are tons.
Let's see if we picked the same spot.
Okay, there were tons of different places in there. My first thought was like, well, I mean, you have the man who has made the word fuck like the pinnacle of English language. So why would I not have him say it? But I was thinking about his lines. I was just like, yeah, I could. It kind of seemed a little shoehorned in there. I actually went with Ian Malcolm. I thought for sure your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should. And I thought that would have been a nice hammer on that point that he's making. But yeah, there are lots of places in that movie. Hell, just having her scream the word fuck whenever the velociraptor jumps out after her would have been fine. So, any other places y'all would put it in there, Ray? I can see you're
Go, Ray. I'll go after you.
So, well, the original one that I thought of was the lawyer sitting on the toilet and looking up. That would have been a good. But you have to give it to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And I was like, where do you put it? Because hold on to your fucking butts doesn't hold.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Like, it's not quite the same. So I went with right? You know that whole you didn't say the magic word. You didn't say the magic word. And when he yells, please, you add, please, motherfucker. Like,
yes, you're absolutely right. Oh my God, you're right. I may have to go back on mine now. Because I thought about the butts line as well. I thought it just doesn't fit there. So
not the right ring. Please, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right, Sai. I just thought of another place it could go. What are you thinking, Sai?
Did Joseph have one, or do you want me to?
I do. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What do you think?
I was like, when Hammond says, "We spared no fucking expense."
We spared no fucking expense.
That's not bad either. Sai, where would you throw it in?
So mine's also Hammond, and
okay.
It's when they're all in the cars going on the ride, and they're not seeing any dinosaurs. And Jeff Goldblum goes, "There are dinosaurs on your dino tour," and Hammond goes, "I really fucking hate that man."
Yeah, no, that would have been good. I just thought of another one that would have been perfect, and it was Muldoon when he's sitting there, and then the Velociraptor comes up, and he could have just gone, "Clever fucking girl," right before it eats him. So there's a lot of great places in that movie you could throw that word, and it would have been great.
Fucking shoot her!
right off the bat in the movie.
Just get it. Just set the tone.
Yep, set the tone, baby.
As he's about to get, oh fuck!
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, what's your next one?
So my next one is from Captain America: Civil War, and it's when Tony and Steve are arguing, and Tony says, "Sometimes I want to punch you in your perfect fucking teeth."
That would have been.
That's a good one.
That would have been great. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when you were looking at PG-13 movies, and you're like, "What PG-13 means don't have the F word?" Like I was looking up online, and it's just a crap ton of Marvel stuff. I was just like, "Wow, I didn't realize that." Like,
and they got the perfect man for it too. Like Samuel L. Jackson would be Fury coming in there. This fucker.
Well, where did they cut off his line again? And at the end of
Infinity War.
Infinity War, and he's saying "mother," and then he
gets
cut. Yeah. But trying to think, are there any other scenes in that movie that really kind of makes the most sense?
Mm-hmm.
That
or
or
when Tony's talking to Steve and said, "Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you fucking know?" You know.
That would have been good. Because I was going to the big battle scene, I was just like, I don't see anyone throwing it out there unless they just jokingly threw it out. So
Or War Machine when Spider-Man was like, "You guys remember that movie, that old movie where they tie the thing and then War Machine's like, how old is this fucking kid?"
that would have been good.
Yeah.
or if you're gonna do it to Spidey as he steals Captain America's shield and he jumps on the, "Hey fuckers."
Then you would have had to change the next line because even though he was making fun of Cap about it, Iron Man would have had to been like, "Kid, watch it, man."
Spider-Man, is your arm fucking metal?
Or when Captain or what's his name? Fuck, the guy with the metal arm and
Bucky.
so
yeah.
Bucky and the other when Spider-Man beats them both and they're all
Talking.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. So they're next to each other and they're all, don't fucking say a word to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good pick. Ray, what's your next one?
So, because Chris isn't joining us, I went on a bit of a Harry Potter kick.
Oh, shit.
So, so I'll start with the very first PG-13 Harry Potter movie, which is Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
And
I didn't even think about Harry Potter. Oh my God.
So you're setting the scene. What it is, it's all dark out. Harry Potter's underneath the cloak of invisibility. He's just seen Hagrid, and there's dragons everywhere. And he drops the cloak, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" Like it's just that realization. I gotta fight dragons.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot for it.
Nice. I've only seen the Harry Potter movies once, so I don't remember a lot of places. I've actually read the books at least twice through, but
I feel like in Goblet of Fire specifically, when Dumbledore is, "Harry, did you mess with the goblet?" or whatever the specific line. But Harry, did you fucking up?
Having Dumbledore say it would definitely be on the next level.
The other one that there is suggestions out there, and it was Hermione. I'm not a fucking owl. I think that would be a good one too.
Nice. Sai, what's your next movie?
Did you skip Joseph? Or
No.
Okay. I don't know. I'm all over the place. So this one is PG-13. I just checked.
Okay.
And it's going to be so obvious as soon as I say the name of this movie, what line, Taken.
Oh shit. Yes.
I mean, there's only really the one thing that anybody knows from Taken.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a couple of opportunities in that where you could do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could do, him talking, and he's saying things like, "I will find you, and I will fucking kill you."
Yes.
Or you can have the other guy, "Good fucking luck." You can do it either way. I felt like they were too polite in that conversation.
I've got a certain particular set of fucking skills.
Yeah,
that's what I thought you were gonna say.
Well, yeah, but it's funny because there's a lot of opportunities, and it's just this one little part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next movie was Men in Black.
Oh.
So there's lots of places I thought you could throw it in there. My first thought was the speech that Kay's giving Jay about how he's like, why not tell everyone? People are smart. And he's like, no, they're not. People are fucking stupid animals. And that was my first thought. But honestly, I think the best place to put it would be having Jay say when he goes, I ain't playing with you, Kay. Did you fucking think flashy thingy me?
That's a good one.
Because he was not happy with the idea that he got flashy thingy. So
I don't know.
The other person I thought that would be a good place to put it, and I didn't specifically look up a line, would have been the what was the name of the pug? The alien that looked like the pug.
Oh,
Fred or Frank?
Frank. Frank
Frank
saying
said-
something just because he was kind of. He wasn't foul mouthed, like he wasn't like completely throwing stuff out there, but definitely that would have been a Frank type line to
yeah,
throw an F bomb in there. So
yeah.
I could just see someone calling it the noisy fucking cricket.
yeah, that would have worked too.
See, I was thinking, but that's the second one. That's the second one.
Okay.
When Kay goes to step on the cockroach and then chooses not to,
Mhm.
and he's like, "Damn decent of you." No. Fucking right, and it just keeps going on. Would be better. I mean,
Well, see, you
New
could
York.
you could also have the part where in the car and he tells him push the fucking red button, something like that. I think Rip Torn would have actually delivered it really well if he said something like "Get the fucking kid a gun" or
Oh my
something.
God. Rip Torn.
Yep,
I miss that dude.
I know, right? He he delivered some funny ass shit.
First thing I ever saw him in was Beastmaster. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
And that was obviously he's not funny in that movie, but he was. I would see him in comedy stuff after that, and I was like, "That's the dude from Beastmaster."
yeah. Isn't it funny when you see someone do something serious, or that you know him for comedy, and you watch him do something serious, and you're just like, "What is going on here?"
Yeah. Well, Beastmaster did that twice though, because it's Rip Torn, and then the dad from Good Times. So, I saw Good Times after I saw Beastmaster. I'm like, what?
That's that dude. Joseph, what's your next one?
So my next one is from The Karate Kid, and I am going
Okay.
to destroy a beloved Miyagiism.
Uh-oh.
No. Uh-oh.
Well, at least I'm gonna enhance it. I'm gonna enhance
Okay, yeah, we'll go the other way with it.
it. When you feel life out of focus, always return to basic of life. Fucking.
Wow.
Okay,
I mean-
so you used it. Okay.
I mean, I knew he was getting trained, but I didn't know he was getting.
I know, right?
That's a whole new meaning to wax on, wax off.
Oh man. The only other place I can think of definitely is sweep the fucking leg. I mean,
You have a fucking problem with that, Mr. Lawrence?
yeah. Oh man. Have any of y'all watched all of the seasons of Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
Yes.
Christy and I watched most of them. I think we fell off over the last season or two or whatever. So,
What?
but
Dude,
it
the last
just
season.
it was it still surprised me how good it was. I was just like, this should not be this good, but it is.
Yeah, it's like eating candy.
Yes.
Chris hadn't watched the first movie until a couple of years ago, and I finally put it on, and she's like, "This is actually pretty good." I'm like, "Yeah." And then we watched the second one. She's like, "No, it's not so good anymore."
I'm 99%
not the
sure
third
Elaine's
one.
never seen the first one.
Do
Sorry?
what?
So I'm 99% sure Elaine's never seen the first one.
We're gonna have to change that.
Yeah, that needs to change.
I need somebody to go pull that card, that nerd card, right now. Sorry.
She still has her Disney card, so it's fine.
She's got an appeal. She can file an appeal.
File an appeal. Ray, what's your next one?
All right. So sticking with the Harry Potter, the next movie in the series is Order of the Phoenix, and it's got to be somebody to talk into Umbridge because Umbridge is a piece of shit.
Oh God, yes.
So I went with. So there she is. She's about to kick out Trelawney, and there's McGonagall comes up. Something you'd like to say, dear? There are several fucking things I'd like to say. That's got to be the line.
And having her deliver it would have been perfect.
Yeah, got to be Maggie. Maggie's got to say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the next one.
Nice. Like I said, I've only seen the movies once, so I can only, my memory of it's only so good. But no, that sounds perfect. So, Cyrus, what's your next one?
All right. So I got to ask you the rule about this PG-13 thing. So they changed in 1984
Right.
So if there's a movie that came out in '83 but was PG, but probably
You're
would
good.
have. Okay.
You're-
Okay.
You're more than good.
So this line, if I do this, is going to fundamentally change. This is like a Joseph thing. This is going to
Okay.
it's going to change this line. It's going to change the way you feel about what happens in the movie
Okay.
to an extent. Okay. The movie is Kroll. Okay.
Okay.
And at the opening of the movie, when they're getting married, she takes the fire out of the water.
Uh-huh.
Instead of this really fucking awesome moment of take the fire from my hand, which then of course, if you've seen Kroll, you know what that's I love that shit. But instead of being like this awesome moment, she's like she gets the fire out of the water and she's like biting back pain. Take the fucking fire from my hand.
Like it.
Oh man.
And then at the end of the movie, he can say it back to her like all sarcastic, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. I just
yeah.
did an event at Dragon's Lair in Austin, comic store, and they have a bunch of props and stuff up, and they have a glaive up there. And every time I go in there, I'm just like, one of our members works there, and I just want to go. Can you get the glaive down so I can hold it and take a picture? I just want to hold the glaive. It's a fucking awesome weapon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes no sense at all, but it's a fucking awesome
Who
weapon.
cares? It's a magic weapon. It
Yeah,
doesn't have to
exactly.
make sense.
My next movie is The Addams Family. PG-13. Didn't have an F-bomb in it. I was trying to figure out where I was going to put it in there.
I love
personally,
that movie. Oh my god.
it's so good. My personal preference would be when Pugsley and Wednesday are outside and the girls come up and are trying to get them to buy Girl Scout cookies, and she's like, I'll buy, is your lemonade made of real lemons? Because I only drink real lemons or whatever. And then she replies, what do you want to buy in Girl Scout cookies? And she would reply, are they made from real fucking Girl Scouts? Just deadpan as all shit.
So, how about chopping the rose and saying, "Don't torture yourself, my dear. That's my fucking job."
That would have been good too.
What a great movie, man.
Yeah. I would have given it to Cousin It. I think one of them talking like it, and it'd just be a subtitle, fuck off. And they're like, okay, yeah, sure.
Subtitles, huh? We could do that, huh?
There you go. Well, that opens up a bunch of stuff for Star Wars, which, by the way, moving on to Joseph next, I thought that's what you had originally claimed was doing a lot of the Star Wars movies.
I was going to. I really was, but I chose to step away from that because I felt like that was way too easy.
No, fuck that. When we're all done, we're going back to the Star Wars movies because there's tons of places we could throw stuff in. Well, what's your next one, Joseph?
So my next one is from Clash of the Titans, the 2010 version.
Oh, I have not seen the 2010 version.
Really? You didn't watch either one of those movies?
I just never got around to it. So,
I really liked the 2010 remake. Mm-hmm. The one after that was okay. It was entertaining, but the 2010 remake for me captured a lot of the same kind of stuff that the original did. Just much better graphics,
Yeah.
So specifically, the line I chose is Perseus is like trying to pep up the men because they're getting ready to face Medusa, and so I'm gonna read the whole little speech, and you'll see where the F-bomb is. So he says, "I know we're all afraid, but my father told me someday someone was going to have to take a stand. Someday someone was going to have to say enough. This could be that day. Trust your senses and don't look this fucking bitch in the eye."
Nice.
That's great.
Well placed.
Dude. That's actually really good.
Good spot.
Well placed. Now I'm doubting myself. Now I'm thinking, did I see that? Because isn't there a part where they pick up like the original little clockwork
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have seen it and I just forgot about
It's
it.
a long
Because I
time.
remember seeing it and I was going, oh, it's the dude. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I love when they do little callbacks like that.
I think
and
we
stuff.
talked about it on the old show.
We probably did.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I didn't remember that I had seen it. So obviously I need to go back and watch it again.
I like both of those movies. And Joseph's right. The second one wasn't as good, but
Mhm.
it did have some really cool moments, you know.
Okay.
And they did stuff that you weren't really expecting, you know.
Right.
They're decent movies.
I got to see if they're streaming somewhere and just watch them sometime. So, Ray, what's your next one?
All right, so back to Harry Potter. Deathly Hallows is the next one because Half-Blood Prince actually got a PG rating, not a PG-13 rating.
Okay.
I would have had a good one for PG-13 or that one. But anyway, so this one would hit a little harder. It's when Harry when Harry and Ron and Hermione are in the tent, and Ron's listening to the radio, and so Harry delivers a line of like, you don't think I know how this feels? And then Ron returns it back and he says, your parents are fucking dead. You don't have a family. I think that would like,
Wow, that was that would have hit really hard.
yeah, just to show how much like Ron's fucking on the edge. Like it's
Done. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Si, what's your next one?
Let me see here. You can skip me. I'll give me a minute on that.
All right, no problem. My next one falls under the pre-1984 rule, and that's E.T. I was trying to think, where do I put an F-bomb that makes the most impact on this movie? And I think the only line I could put it in would be fucking good.
Be fucking-
I could just see them being like, okay.
We could have Elliot screaming, he's fucking dying.
That would probably make more sense, but I just
Yeah.
wanted be fucking good.
Be fucking good.
Because it originally it sounds like be good, but if you say it that way, it's like, or what?
Yeah, all ominous, like slow Yoda zoom in from Empire.
I know, right?
Fucking good.
Good.
What is happening?
Okay, sure.
Lights up that finger.
Yep. Joseph, what's your next one?
So actually, this is my last one.
Okay.
So it's from Addams Family Values, actually.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You know, they're in the camp,
Mhm.
and they're I can't remember. I think specifically they're doing the play. But Wednesday says, "Do not trust the pilgrims, especially fucking Sarah Miller."
Yes, that would have been great.
Yeah.
When I originally did that one, I put the F-bomb somewhere else, and Elaine came over and was like, "Nope, it has to go over here."
I was gonna put it when they're in the shack of happiness or whatever it is, and he's like, "Fucking Disney," and then
That would have been good too. But I like the idea of her giving that speech.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
in front of all the adults. And everything else.
Yes. Nice. Ray, what's your next one, or do you have any more? Or
I
two
got
more.
two.
All right, cool.
So
I've got one more myself.
Deathly Hallows Part 2.
All right.
There's only one line that this gets added to,
Okay.
and that is, "Not my daughter, you fucking bitch."
Yes.
And that's to Bellatrix. Like, yeah, nope, Mrs. Weasley,
Yeah.
No, you don't fuck with Miss Weasley.
nope. So
one
that's
works.
the spot that one goes.
Yep. I wonder how much fun she would have had if she had actually got to say that. Like, she probably would have been like, "This is the best part of all the movies."
I bet they had some outtakes. I bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever see the outtake? I think it was from the first movie, whichever movie it is where all the kids are like in sleeping bags or whatever. Apparently, what's his name that played Snape, and Dumbledore put a remote farting
Did you say
thing.
what's his name that played
I'm
Snape?
blanking on his name.
Alan Rickman?
Alan Rickman. They put a remote fart machine in one of the sleeping bags,
Daniel
and just kept making it going off, and they're giggling. The two adults are giggling. All the kids are just like, do we laugh or not? Are we going to get in trouble?
It was Daniel Radcliffe's.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was his. Yeah.
And he's like,
So, it's not me. It's not me. I promise. Meanwhile, they're over there.
oh, yeah.
So,
Guys, we got to do another take. You guys keep farting.
I know, right? Cyrus, what's your next one?
This is my last one.
Got it.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, okay. What you got for us?
We named the fucking dog Indiana.
Perfect spot.
I showed the boys Raiders. We have not gotten around to watching Last Crusade yet, and
It's the best one, man.
I agree. I totally agree. I'm just so afraid of showing it to them because I don't want them coming up behind my seat while I'm driving going, Dad, what? Dad, what? Dad, what?
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason, man. Otherwise, that movie is a masterpiece.
It's a strange phobia. I don't think that will happen.
Dude, you have no idea how long we held off showing them What About Bob? Because it happened.
Now that makes sense.
Okay, you can stop now. Like
that one, there's numerous things in that movie you need to keep your children away from. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the
Yes.
Oh, God, that movie is so funny though.
What about
Like,
Temple?
I have-
When are you going to show him Temple?
Do what?
When are you going to show him Temple?
Okay, so let me ask this question. Do I have to show him? I'm sorry. Temple is an okay movie.
This is over. I'm out. See you later.
I don't care for Temple.
What do you mean you don't care for Temple?
I don't care for Temple. It's not that supposed fourth movie that supposedly someone made that I don't know what they're talking about. Indiana Jones needs to be fighting Nazis. Okay? That's my Indiana Jones.
There are so
Indiana
many
Jones
classic scenes in Temple of Doom.
Yeah, I know.
That is a fun movie, dude. You're just
You know what?
comparing it.
Maybe I need to go back and just revisit it and show
Forget
it.
about the other two while you're watching that one movie. Just appreciate what that movie is.
And there's a perfect spot for an F-bomb in that one.
Okay,
When
go
they're
for
hanging
it.
off the cliff and you betrayed fucking Shiva.
Or when he's getting ready to cut the rope and she's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's actually not a bad way to look at it, Simon. Maybe I should just be like, hey, we're gonna watch this movie and just kind of keep it like this is just gonna be a fun action movie.
Dude, Temple of Doom is a side story. It's not in the main plot.
True.
Remember it that way.
True.
Yeah, because you could think about it. He's in Japan. It's still World War II era. He's trying to get back home, and it's a side quest.
Side quest. You know
Yes.
what? That's a good way to look at it. Okay, you know what? I think it's back on the to-do list. It's definitely back on the to-do list and a little higher.
It's a great movie.
They're still kind of the problem is they're just about to the age where they're going to start learning about sex ed. So I'm like, do I wait to before or after to show them Back to the Future? Because I don't really want to try to have that conversation if someone brings up, wait a minute, now that's his mom and
Hey,
wait, what?
So you're not going to show him that episode of Futurama where Fry's his own grandpa?
Hell no, I'm not showing
I got to tell you
episode
something,
of
Eugene.
Futurama.
I got to tell you something. I wouldn't worry about it. We started when we were kids. We knew stuff we weren't supposed to know way before we were supposed to know it.
I know. I just
They already know
see
more
it's
you can
it's
think.
50-50. It's on one hand, it's like I don't know if I'm looking forward to this conversation and this new enlightenment that comes with it. But on the other hand, we could go back and watch a few movies and they're going to get so much more of the humor. Spaceballs.
I'm learning today that Eugene has an avoidance thing where when it comes to with his movie watching, he's got a lot of stress about how he handles introducing movies to his kids.
Here's the thing, like, and I'm probably irrationally tying these two things together, but I don't know if they know that about the whole Santa Claus thing. I have this irrational fear that it's going to be this giant awakening, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is what sex is, and this wasn't real. My parents lied to me about this, and just the world's going to fucking crumble. And because I don't think it was that way for me as a kid, but it just, for whatever reason, something's sewn in my brain for that.
So let me just. They're in public school.
Yes.
More than what you're even.
Oh, I know, because they do ask questions from time to time, and I'm just like, we're not sugarcoating anything, but we're also like giving the minimum amount of information. Just like, hey, you probably shouldn't repeat that around other people. It's an adult thing. Okay, and they're okay with that at this point. But yeah, I know it's because I remember back to 6th grade, and I remember the stuff that I learned. It was just like, what? But anyway, my last movie on my list, real quick, is and then we're gonna go backtrack to Star Wars. The Secret of NIMH.
The what? I don't know the what, the when, the where.
I don't know why this came on my radar, but I was like, it's PG. It was a PG movie. It was before 1983. Part of me still thinks it should be PG-13 because that movie messed me up as a kid. Like, even as a young kid, I understood this is not right what they're doing to these animals. Like, this was messed up. And literally, it's like the last line of the movie. It's when they've moved the house and everything, and the little boy's inside, and he's got a cast on, and he's telling his mom, he's constantly like, I want to go outside, I want to go outside, and literally like the last line of the movie would be Miss Bisbee, well, you're not fucking getting up. I've been through enough shit. I'm not arguing about this. You're not fucking getting up.
So that movie messed me up from the murder plot to kill the old Nicodemus, the leader of the mice or whatever.
Yes.
I was like, what? The cartoon wants to murder the other cartoon? And I was
and then just the animation on it is so dark, and that movie, like I said, I don't understand. Honestly, that movie I think should be PG-13. Like, they should go back and retroactively make that one.
Probably. That's a great movie.
Oh, it's beautiful, fantastic music, and it's beautiful. Like, if you go back and look at it, and then like, because I've shown my boys like some animation from it, just not the whole movie, and I'm just like, guys, y'all don't understand. There's nothing computer animated here. Every single cell, 24 times every second, someone drew everything in this, and they're just like, that seems like a lot of work. I'm like, yeah, and it's gorgeous.
It's why it took years.
Do you know Will Wheaton is in it?
What?
Yeah.
Is what?
He plays Martin.
The Secret.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't know it either. I just saw that. I was like, wow.
Joseph, you said you were done. Ray, you've got one more.
Yep.
All right. What you got for us?
So my last one is Stardust. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this movie. Chris and I, I
remember that.
It's one of our guilty pleasures. We enjoy this one. Anyway, Ricky Gervais is in the movie.
Oh, God. And there's not an F-bomb?
There's not an F-bomb. It is PG-13. Anyway, at one point, Ricky Gervais gets his voice taken away from him. And all he can do is kind of, it's almost like a cluck, like a chicken, like it sounds like a chicken or a monkey noise, that type of thing. And so what I'm thinking is right before he gets stabbed, because he's not talking, you get a subtitle. Oh, and then he gets stabbed.
So not even out loud, just subtitle of it.
No, it's just got to be because.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That was actually Chris's idea, and I loved it. So it was. Yeah. Star Wars, like fuck, there's so many spots.
Yeah, let's hit Star Wars real quick before we jump on that. One of the other ones I almost threw out there was the Transformers movie. Because they already dropped some curse words in it, which blew everyone's freaking mind in the first place. So like when Spike says, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do now?" I remember in the theater, I was already still trying to comprehend the death of Optimus Prime. And I'm just like, what did he just say? Like, that movie just broke my whole world when that came out. Anyway, all right. So like I pointed out, technically speaking, if we were going by the rules, you can't touch episodes 1 and 2 because they came out after 84 and they were PG. Episode 3, on the other hand, is PG-13. Now, episodes 4 through 6 are PG, but they came out before 84, so you can drop an F-bomb in. And then, of course, the 3 sequels, they're PG-13 as well. So starting with episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, The only thing I can think of is, of course, the line when he's, Obi-Wan is standing over and he's like, I loved you. You were my brother. And he looks up and he just goes, I fucking hate you. Like,
I thought you were going to go with, I am the fucking Senate.
oh, that would have been good too. Oh, that would have been good too.
You were supposed to bring balance to the Force, not fucking destroy it.
Here we go.
See, I would have, instead of no, it would fuck.
You were my fucking brother.
I can see George Lucas going for just fuck,
or
drawn out,
or when he goes, I will do what I must. You will fucking try. You know.
Yeah.
That whole speech, you could have just peppered him in, and it would have been perfect.
Star Wars is like the land o' plenty for like opportunities for this. Like,
yes,
the ground is very fertile here.
Yes. Anything else anyone want to drop on Revenge of the Sith before we move on to A New Hope?
Does the line I put in there about the granting the rank of master, is that Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith? I don't remember.
That's Revenge of the Sith.
I choose the rank of fucking master. I do not.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is fucking outrageous.
Or the little kid, when Master Skywalker, what do we do? And you just see the lightsaber turn on, and the little kid, fuck.
Fuck.
Wow.
Oh man,
that was my dark deed of the day.
Yeah.
Or just a real slow fuck.
Drawn out really long. All right, let's move to A New Hope. Jeez, there are a lot. What you got, Ray?
That's no fucking moon.
Yes, that would have been great.
Where did you dig up that old fucking fossil? Wait, or what's the line when they first see the Millennium Falcon? What a piece of fucking junk.
Yes.
It actually just changed. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a few.
Over my dead fucking body.
Yes, I'm sure I'm butchering the line, but the when he's choking him in the thing, your lack of the fucking force disturbs me.
Your lack of faith disturbs me.
Yeah.
I find your lack of faith disturbing. That's what it says.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Find lack of fucking faith. It'd be difficult to do with Darth Vader. I find your fucking lack of faith disturbing.
It worked. It's okay. It's not great. There's some other ones that we've thrown out there that were better. So
as you fucking wish.
Well, Leia screaming "fuck" when they destroy Alderaan.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are fucking part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
Yes. Take our life.
See, but anything with R2, you could throw it in there because he's.
Oh yeah, that was my other go-to. Is
everything he says is a cuss word.
Oh yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. Yes.
You fucking people! I got to do everything. Come on. Let's get this fucking shoot.
That's why they're not allowed in that fucking bar. They're like, look, it's a bit much, you know.
Yeah. What is 3PO's line when he's pissed off at him in the sands and he's like, "Go, fucking you kicks him."
Yeah. Go that way.
You'll be fucking go that way.
You'll be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scrap pile.
Yeah.
I know too much of this shit.
No, it's been a while. There's so much Star Wars now. It's so hard to keep everything straight. So
fucking arm.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's move on to Empire.
When Vader tells him he's his father, and Luke screams, "Fuck!
Fuck!"
Yeah. Again, you get away.
No, not even yelling it, just thinking about it, going, "Fuck!"
No fucking disintegrations.
Yes.
Bring my fucking shuttle. Of course, they changed that line. It's not in the movie anymore.
Yeah.
A little bitter about that.
Yes, I know. That was like your big thing that they changed in the.
It shouldn't bother me. It's not a big deal, but it's just that I know that line and I'm very comfortable with it, and it's gone. And it's not really a big deal. It's just, you know how we fans are.
Yeah. I love you.
You could add a line. of Han saying it's fucking freezing outside when he has to put Luke in the tauntaun.
Yeah.
Tauntaun will fucking freeze before he reaches the first marker.
Yeah.
He'll fucking see you in hell.
We're missing the obvious. We're missing obvious conversations between Luke and Yoda.
Shit.
Why do you fucking talk like that?
Oh yeah.
How do you get so fucking big eating food of this kind? I cannot fucking teach him.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
So was I, if you fucking remember.
Yeah.
I mean, they just, every line, basically.
Every line, yes. Yeah. What a different movie that would have been if, like, he just dropped F-bombs constantly.
You fucking will be.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Do or do not. There is no fucking try.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Fantastic. All right.
Forgive my lack of remembering. Which one? It's a trap.
That's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and we were just about to move to Jedi.
Admiral Akbar saying the F-bomb. Yes,
it's a fucking trap.
We have to. Yes.
Especially in the way he talks too. That's what makes it so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We won't last long against that fucking Star Destroyer. You'll last longer than you will against that fucking Death Star.
What does the Emperor say? This fully fucking operational.
You fucking want this, don't you?
Yes.
Luke.
So be it. Fucking Jedi.
I like that one.
Fucking
I
hell.
like that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Help me take this fucking mask off. The Ewoks. You gotta have the Ewoks, cousin.
Oh yeah, subtitles. Yeah. I have to ask this question because the boys brought this up the other morning when we were driving to work, or driving to school. Okay, so Qui-Gon learns how to become a Force ghost, right? He had to study and become part. Okay. He then teaches Obi-Wan how to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. He also teaches Yoda, right? Who taught Anakin?
Well, that hasn't been covered yet.
Okay.
But there's still room in the canon.
Yeah, there's about this much room. But when Nick or Alex brought it up, they're like, Dad, who taught Anakin to become a Force ghost? And I was just like,
if you think about it logically, there's only one period of time it actually could have happened.
Okay.
Because he didn't understand when he killed Obi-Wan that Obi-Wan was going to become more powerful than he could possibly imagine, right?
Right.
So it had to have happened sometime between the killing of Obi-Wan and when he died, right?
So you think he learned it as
I
Vader?
think the only real opportunity he had to learn it would have been from Luke. And so Luke had to tell him this as he was dragging him through the Death Star.
Well, that's a lot of. But how did Luke learn?
Luke learned from Yoda.
Oh, that's true.
And Obi-Wan also talked to Luke, so he probably learned from Obi-Wan as well.
Man, you seem like you're boiling this down to. Oh yeah, dude, you just do this. Super simple. Don't know why everyone's not doing it.
I'm way too big of a Star Wars nerd. I'm way too.
You could technically think of it as when he struck down Obi-Wan. He's like, I got to figure out what he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But Cyrus was saying that.
You're right, but he didn't understand at that point, and he hadn't put two and two together because, well, maybe he did. It is possible he did understand, but he was just consumed by the dark side because Luke said he could feel the good in him. Maybe he did learn about it and was trying, had an internal struggle. So maybe sometime after killing Obi-Wan, he knew, but we don't know when.
I'm thinking that he comes across because Emperor's trying to live forever.
Right.
So I'm thinking the Emperor discarded this, he figured it out and discarded it and said, "Fuck it, that's not worth it." And so in that learning somewhere of the Emperor, Vader's looking and
that would be a very interesting path to go down, even if it's just a side episode of something coming up. That would be an interesting. I like that idea. I like that idea that the Emperor figured it out as well. It's just like, fuck that. I still have to die. I ain't doing that shit.
I ain't dying. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm staying. Yeah. I'm staying right here.
Unless, of course,
Uh-oh.
Darth Vader never actually did turn to the dark side. And it was all an elaborate ruse so they could take down the Emperor.
Killing younglings?
There's a price you have to pay
No.
sometimes.
I thought for sure you were going to say, listen, to make an omelet.
Look, the younglings were in on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They were going to become magic light people. They didn't care.
Okay, guys, here's the secret. It's all okay. Just do this.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you ready?
Everyone close your eyes.
Which, by the way, did you see that TikTok of after Order 66? Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody picking up lightsaber after
yes. Oh, that was messed up. All right. Do we want to tackle the sequel movies? I've seen The Force Awakens multiple times. The other two not as much.
I've been trying to forget those movies, to be honest with you. Like,
fair enough.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about those movies.
They're fine. We'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave them as they are. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, let's move on to our picks and or pans. We're just gonna go around. I'm gonna ask Joseph first, but I already know what his fucking pick is. Joseph, what is your pick?
So actually, I have two. And funny story. So my original pick was going to be Hogwarts Legacy. I thought Hogwarts Legacy was fantastic. I poured a lot of hours into that game. I would do that thing where it's like, okay, I want to play and, not have to think about anything like that. And I do, is Elaine asleep? Yes. And I walk to the living room. I would play. The storyline was great. The fighting, the magic, everything was great. The final boss was a great fight.